Hello and welcome back to London Cycle Routes. Today I'm going to show you how to cycle from Pimlico in West London, north of the River Thames, to Rotherhithe in East London, south of the River Thames. It takes about 30 minutes and you can do it all on protected bike lanes and really quiet streets. It's actually a lovely ride. As you can see from the map, it takes in Vauxhall, it takes in Southwark and it takes in Bermondsey. So if you need to get between any of those places, this is also a really useful route. We're going to start near Pimlico Station on Vauxhall Bridge Road, and you just want to head north towards Vauxhall Bridge. As recently as a few years ago, this was a horrible place to cycle, but Transport for London built this brilliant protected cycleway along the bridge, and it's now absolutely fantastic. It's really quick, and yeah, you don't have to interact with cars at all. And you can tell we're at Vauxhall because that's St George's Wharf on the right, large luxury flat complex, and that's the MI6 building on the left, another landmark. And yeah, those black things that we've gone through are security barriers, I think, to prevent terror attacks. And yeah, just work your way through the junction, and we're actually going to be going under Vauxhall Station here, through this nice little tunnel with its questionably located Boris bikes. Just keep going here and a very short stretch here on the shared pavement, and then head into Vauxhall Pleasure Gardens. And really just, this is obviously a shared pavement with pedestrians, so obviously be courteous. And then you basically just want to get to the end of Vauxhall Pleasure Gardens. There's a nice little pedestrian plaza, by the way, and that's a lovely little tea house if you ever are in the neighbourhood. It's worth a little cup of tea. And you'll come out here onto Vauxhall Walk, which is a really quiet street. There's no through traffic on it for cars, so you shouldn't really run into much motor traffic at all. We're actually following a designated Transport for London route called Quietway 5 at the moment. This follows a lot of back streets through Lambeth and Southwark. But you don't really need to worry about that for now, because we're really just going straight, including here onto Newport Street. Do be a little bit careful here, as there are a couple of businesses with lorries and vans and stuff, and occasionally they'll come in and load things. This junction, I don't really know how to explain it other than that the signs are just wrong. Don't go left. It seems to suggest you should just go through here, go through this estate to Ingram Close, and just go to the end of this little road here. And now you can start following Q5 on the ground again. Same sort of story here, by the way. There are sort of businesses in the railway arches, so you need to be careful. This little bit here is interesting. I did it the conventional way and waited at the lights, and it took absolutely ages. To be honest, you probably could just ride across and treat this like a normal junction. But yeah, we're now on the excellently named Hercules Road. And you can see here there's a great little street treatment. There's just a bollard blocking off the end of it, so only bikes can go through, which means there's no through traffic, which means you won't run into any cars on the way here. And you should be able to see in the background there, that's Lambeth North Tube Station. That's near the Imperial War Museum, so if you're planning a visit to there, this might be a good way to cycle there. And across this slightly too large junction onto Bayless Road, which is a new set of cycle tracks that Lambeth has built, which are frankly really good. And coming up here, you can see that the cycle track is designed to go behind the bus stops on the road, which is the new way of doing bus stops. It basically means that you don't have to overtake the buses when they're stopped at the stops, which makes things a lot easier. Now we're going onto a street that you might be familiar with, past the Old Vic Theatre. This road's called The Cut, it goes behind Waterloo. And yeah, this used to be quite a difficult road to cycle on because it was just any old street. But now the centre has had a filter put in it, so there's no through traffic. You can see here that's a no cars symbol. So we're the only people allowed to actually go through it. The pavements have also been widened, and someone had laid out some palm trees, which is really nice. So that makes this street really pleasant to cycle on. And we arrive here, just outside Southwark Tube Station. And we're going to turn left here onto Blackfriars Road. You might be familiar with this north-south cycleway here, but we're only going to stay on it for a very short space of time, because on the right, any second now, we're going to turn onto Nicholson Street. This isn't actually a controlled junction, so you just have to look and make sure that there isn't any, that there's not any cars coming. Now on Nicholson Street, we're actually starting to follow the Q14 sign, which is Quietway 14. The number's changed. This is also a really good quality route. It's pretty well signposted, so you shouldn't have too much trouble following it. It does go on a number of different streets. Like it doesn't. There's not really any one street that it stays on. So you'll see from the names flashing up that it changes quite often. So it would be quite tricky to remember it by yourself, and that's where following the Q14 symbols does actually help quite a lot. That's the Shard in the background there, by the way, you can see. So we're kind of almost approaching London Bridge, although it is obviously a very tall tower, so you can see it from quite a way away. And again, you can see one of the ways that this route's been made really cyclable is just liberal use of bollards to stop cars from coming down it. But that's permeable to bikes, so it just makes it a really nice route. And you can see there, if you were coming in the opposite direction, you'd be on a protected cycleway, we call it a contraflow cycleway. It means it's a one-way street for all other traffic, but bikes can go down that in the opposite direction. Another filtered street there, really nicely done, and this is what we like to see, a guy just sort of skateboarding in the road. It means it's a quiet street, it means people feel safe and they can sort of enjoy themselves on it. There's actually a lot of people out on bikes today, which is pretty nice there. Someone using a wheelchair. It's obviously a really sort of really nice public space. And yeah, as I say, it's very difficult to remember the names of all these streets, and you're not really expected to. All you have to do is follow Q14 for now. And also take note when there's arrows telling you, oh, this is about to go around the corner. There's also signs attached to lampposts. You can see they're sort of purple ones. So one interesting thing you might notice here is we're on a street called Leathermarket Street, and the way to remember where we are exactly is, we're crossing Bermondsey High Street here, by the way. We're now on Tanner Street, Leathermarket Street, Tanner Street. That's two kind of related names. Tanning is where the leather would have been made, and presumably Leathermarket Street is where it would have been sold. And of course we're kind of in Southwark here, so outside the old city of London, and you wouldn't want to do leather tanning inside the city because it smells really bad. And yeah, you followed Tanner Street for quite a while actually, under the railway here. I think we're pretty close to the Bermondsey Beer Mile actually, where there's quite a lot of nice breweries, so yeah. And you just follow Tanner Street through until you get to the end of it, just up here, and we join Jamaica Road. And this street, obviously, as you join that, be careful, it's other people's right of way. This is a brand new cycleway. There's a funeral going on in that church, by the way. Rest in peace. There are... this cycleway is great. It's basically a state-of-the-art transport for London protected bike lane. It goes all the way down Jamaica Road. It's not actually quite finished yet, so when it's done, I think it's going to run all the way to at least Greenwich. And it will soon also join at London Bridge in the west. But for now, this is the section that's been completed as of February 2021, when I'm filming this. And it's really good. It helps you get to Rotherhithe extremely easily. You can see there's absolutely loads of people using it, even though it's a pretty cold and quite wet day in early February. And yeah, we made absolutely sterling progress on this. It's a great route. The blue paint blue paint here, by the way, on the junction. This is to show motorists that there will be bikes coming across it, which hopefully improves the safety of it. There's an interesting Easter egg coming up here, by the way. I think I cycled past somebody in a chariot being pulled by a Shire horse. Yeah, there you go. Quite weird. I suppose that's allowed in the bike lane? I don't know. But yeah, on the right there, that's Southwark Park, which is a really nice park that not a lot of people actually seem to have heard of out of the local area. But yeah, we just cross these junctions, which can actually take a while, by the way. And we're on Brunel Road, which is the road that goes to Rotherhithe Tunnel. And yeah, just up here. So Rotherhithe Station is just up this road. We're going to pull up on the pavement here. You can actually go left into some quiet streets if you want. But yeah, we're basically here in Rotherhithe. So thanks very much for watching that, guys. And I'm going to bring the map up again just to show you how far we've come. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, please do like it and subscribe to the channel because it will really help other people find it. Thank you very much.